Welcome back to another video. I am so excited to have you guys. If you're new, welcome. My name is Nikki, and today, as you've seen from the title, we are doing a finishing series I'm in the middle of video. So there are two series that I only have one book left in the series, so that's what we're focusing on in this video. I don't actually have physical copies of either of them, but I do have my beautiful Kindle and my Kindle Unlimited subscription. So the first book I actually have already started. I'm not very far into it, but it is Hunting Adeline, the second book in the cat and mouse duo. I loved the first book. It was incredible. It was one of my favorite books ever, and it just was so, I don't know, there was just something about it. It was so beautifully written, and the plot was there, and I just adored the characters, and it was just like plot twist after plot twist. It was just such an incredible read, and I am so excited to be getting into the second one. I think I'm about 15% in, but it is a 700-page book, so that's not far at all as far as I'm concerned. The second book we'll be getting into is Hopeless by Elsie Silver. It is about Beau and his woman. I don't remember who it is, but it is the fifth book in the Chestnut Spring series, which is also one of my favorite series ever. I love a good cowboy romance or a good bull rider romance, and I am just excited to be getting back into two of my favorite series and be wrapping them up. It's going to be a little heartbreaking at the end, I fear, but I'm so excited, and I'm glad that you guys will be along for the journey. Hi besties, it has been a little bit since I updated the vlog, but I am actually 56% of the way through Hunting Adeline, and I'm enjoying it a lot. So far I don't think it's actually as good as Haunting Adeline, but I think what is better for Haunting Adeline for me is that there was so much romance and a slow burn in there, and there's just like none of that in this book. Not to spoil anything for anybody, but I just like miss Zaid and Addie like doing their thing, and I'm sure it'll happen towards the second half of the book, but I'm just like, I miss them so much. Like they're in the book and they're together, but it's just like just not the same type of plot going on. There's a different plot, same vibes, very dark, even darker than the first one, but I just missed the plot of the first book. But we are making our way through it. I plan on finishing it within the next couple days. I have about 300 something pages left and really enjoying it. Love being back on my Kindle again, and let's just read some more. Besties, it has been at least a week since I last talked to you. I've uploaded a video. I went on 2 vacations. I don't remember if I talked to you in between vacations after I went to Florida. No, I didn't, because when I was at the airport waiting to get on my plane to go to Florida, I finished Hunting Adeline, and it was so good. And I'm going to go over the whole thing. So while I was there, I believe I was at 79% of the way through the book, and it took me a lot of focus and time to get that far in the book because it was a little slow moving. There's a lot going on with the plot, but the way it was written, I was just like, oh my gosh, it's a slog. And I did not think I was going to enjoy it that much, but the last 200 pages blew my mind. They were so good. So many things happened. The ending was so beautiful, and I was so happy. And I was like, 5 stars. It was so worth the first 500 pages, and I was just so happy with the way it ended. Highly recommend. One of my favorite series, and I'm just so happy with the way that it ended. I still think about it a lot, and it was just so good. Like, so much character development in the second book. And part of the thing I think I had mentioned before was there was not a lot of romance in the second book because Adeline was going through so much. And I think that's part of it was she was having some issues, and resolving them was understandably very repetitive. And I was like, totally understanding. I was like, yes, that's so repetitive, but it's how healing works. So I understood, but it just made for a very slow first 500 pages, but the last 200 pages made it so worth it. So I'm so glad I pushed through. I knew I wasn't going to DNF it, but I did have to tell myself, okay, we're reading. And honestly, lately, I have been in the biggest reading mood. Like, it's just, sometimes I have to force myself to sit down and read, but recently it's just like, okay, I'm going to read. And I'm like, the ADHD gods have blessed me, and I can just like sit down and read without having to fight with myself about it. And not that like I don't enjoy reading all the time, just sometimes like it takes a lot for me to actually sit down to focus. So I've been so happy with how that is going. To continue on, I'm sitting on the edge of the bed, so I have to keep readjusting. I started the last book in the Chestnut Spring series, which is Hopeless. Yes, it's Hopeless. I just had yeah. Anyways, so I am like 67% of the way through or something like that because I started it on the plane on my way to Florida. So I read so much that day on my way to Florida. I read 21% of Hunting Adeline, and I read 25% of Chestnut of Hopeless. And total, out of the 2 books I was reading that day, I read 260 pages, which is a lot for me because I'm a very slow reader. So I was very proud of myself and very happy. And now I'm about 67% of the way through Hopeless, I believe, and it is so good. We're getting to the intense parts of the book, and it's going so well. I'm loving Bo and Bailey, and honestly, I did not know who Bo was going to be with, but I'm so happy it was Bailey. She's such a cool character. Very like she's been through a lot, and you can tell it bothers her, but when her real personality shines through, it's just awesome. And same with Bo. Honestly, like he's been through so much too, and when he lets go a little bit, he's just so himself, and he just like they just care for each other so much, and it's so beautiful to watch their story. And I think like since this is the last book in the series, I think the ending is going to be a little hard on my emotions, but I am ready for it. I'm so excited. I have 150 pages left, which is like not a lot. I think it was 467 pages in the whole book, on page like 330 something. So it's going so well. I think this is turning out to be a very successful vlog. I'm going to sit with my Kindle and try to finish the book. ever chosen, but my camera is charging and it is storming outside. So this is the only good lighting we have in the room right now. I just finished Hopeless. So I just finished the Chestnut Spring series. I'm so happy with the way it ended. I I wasn't tearing up, but it was like almost tearing up. But I love the way it ended. It wrapped up a lot of other characters' stuff too, which I figured because it's the end of a series. But it was so sweet. And there was a third act conflict, not quite a breakup, and that was really cool. And like stuff was going on in the middle, and it was just like there's so much banter, there's so much going on, there's like so much denial on both their parts, and it was just like such a good book, and it had all the vibes, and it was just incredible. I Okay, it's definitely a 5 stars, and I just finished it, so my brain is like, I would say it's my favorite one in the series. It might be, but I'll have to like let you guys know in another vlog if that's still true, because I just finished it like 30 seconds ago. So we'll have to see on that. But I am just so happy I finished it. It was 150 pages left today. And like I told you guys, like I'm a really slow reader. So like that's a lot for me to read. It took me 2 hours to read that. So I'm pretty pleased and I'm happy with the way it ended, and I just love this series so much. It's just so cozy, and I love the family dynamic and how everybody comes together even though like there are so many different personalities, and the characters are just incredible. Like all of the male main characters are just awesome, and the girls are just so bold and strong. And it's just an awesome series. Highly recommend. And same with the cat and mouse duo, Hunting and Haunting Adeline. It was just such good books. Completely different dynamic, obviously. But I also loved the consuming love that Zaid has for Adeline. Is just so beautiful and amazing and so intense. And I just love seeing their relationship and watching it grow and become more deep and connected on so many different levels. And I think this was such a successful reading vlog, and I want to thank you guys for coming along with me. Stay tuned for the next reading vlog, and I will see you later. Bye.